I'm Spencer Ackerman. I'm a senior reporter at the Washington Independent where I cover national security. And these days that means covering Afghanistan a lot. Who Runs Gov asked me to put together a list of some of the most influential advisors on Afghanistan policy. And since General McChrystal just spent a couple days explaining what his implementation of the strategy will be, I thought I'd focus on some of the key leaders that are going to help him. First off is Admiral William McRaven. McRaven runs the Joint Special Operations Command, and as you heard General Petraeus testify last week, JSOC, as it's known, is going to be in charge of counter-terrorist operations in the places outside where General McChrystal and the surge troops secure as population centers. So they're going to be people who not just go directly after select terrorist targets, but they're also going to work with Afghan militias outside of the training and equipping and mentoring of Afghan troops that are ultimately going to be the U.S.'s ticket out of Afghanistan, according to President Obama. That leads to another general, Lieutenant General Bill Caldwell, a rising star in the Army. Caldwell has been tapped by McChrystal to lead a revamped training effort of Afghan soldiers and police. There's another former JSOC guy, a deputy to General McChrystal at JSOC, named Admiral Robert Harward. And Harward is in charge of detention operations for McChrystal. And so all eyes are going to be on him to see how counterinsurgency practices like rehabilitation and reintegration get applied in the jails in Afghanistan, and also how Afghan prisons like Bagram are going to be also transferred to Afghan control. McChrystal has tapped one of Petraeus' key advisors during the Iraq surge, a retired British general named Graham Lamb. And Lamb was critical in Iraq in working with the Anbar Awakening and other Sunni ex-insurgents and tribal groups to get them to stop fighting the U.S. and the Iraqi government. Lamb in Afghanistan is going to be taking a similar task. He's running a cell that McChrystal is setting up to assist with Afghan efforts at reconciliation. So former Taliban fighters, theory goes, will be reconciling with the Afghan government, and Lamb will have the lead role in getting U.S. and NATO troops supporting that policy. And finally, back here in Washington is Michelle Flournoy, the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy. Flournoy, rising star and possibly future first woman Secretary of Defense, comes from the influential think tank, the Center for a New American Security. She chaired the administration's first policy review of Afghan strategy in the spring, and the current strategy review reaffirmed a lot of the premises of that policy. And now she's in charge with making sure that the implementation of the policy back in Washington goes according to plan, and that McChrystal and some of the State Department elements of support are all on the same page back in Washington in supporting what's going to happen on the ground that McChrystal leads.